Right.
What we believe is that if we are making
So we tried a lot of things before.
large language models.
So welcome again to the podcast, and I'm Kaustav.
I am Gauri Mahajan.
So, sir, my first question to you would be that you are associated with Gurucool, and the word Guru tells us about it shows us a picture of respect which students show towards the teachers. So, how did this very cool name come to? Like, from where did it come through? From where did the journey begin? Gurucool.
right. So making a teacher cool doesn't mean that we are disrespecting them.
Right.
What we believe is that if we are making education cool for students, they're more interested into it. They find it more interesting. They find it fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we're able to make education fun for them, we are done with what we want to do in life.
Right.
Right. So that's where the word Gurucool come from. It's not basically a traditional गुरुकुल तब मोहब्बते वाले गुरुकुल नहीं है
Right.
ये गुरुकुल है जहाँ पे एजुकेशन को हम एजुकेटर्स को हम खुद
Right.
कूल बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और एजुकेशन को कूल बना रहे
In a fun way.
हैं इन अ फन
Right.
Okay. So the next question is, what's your investment funda? And how do you negotiate with the investors?
ओके मैं इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड ये है कि मैं अपना बिजनेस उसको दिखाऊं उसको ये दिखाऊं कि वो मेरे साथ अगर वर्क करता है मेरा एक स्मॉल पोर्शन ओन करता है तो हाउ एक्चुअली विल हेल्प हिम ग्रो इन मॉनेटरी फंड्स इन इम्पैक्ट फंड्स इन द सोशल एस्पेक्ट वी आर catering to and if that aligns we are good to go with as investments because investors choose us and also we also choose our investors.
Yeah.
It's not like we take money from everyone.
Yeah.
It's like we figure out if our vision is aligning, if our missions
Sure.
are aligning. That's the investment fund, I would say.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So, sir, like you must have met a lot of investors. You must have had a lot of meetings in your life, and you would have had a lot of experience too. But I want to know the backstory to your first investment. How did you feel? What was in your mind? And when you got your first investment, what did you feel? Were you the proudest person on the planet Earth, or you were on cloud nine?
Yeah. The first investment. Yeah. So when we raised our first investment, it was basically through some of our connection meetings which we had.
Okay.
So our first investor who committed us funds was sitting in US.
Okay.
And all the investment was done through US. I mean, we didn't meet him in person. We met him in
Okay.
person after all the things were done. He came to India after a decade. So it was like we pitched someone who was sitting in UK
Right.
and he liked this. So basically, okay, this is a very interesting story. There was a guy in UK who had owned a company by the name of Gurucool and in late 2000.
Okay.
And he had sold it to someone. He's a more elderly guy, 55-year-old guy. And then he was searching for that old company and he found us.
Okay.
He was like, ये गुरुकुल वो तो नहीं है जो 2000 में तो बच्चे लोग हैं. Right. So he just randomly messaged us. Coincidentally, we were planning our fundraise then. So this 55-year-old guy messaged us and we had a meeting with him. And then he realized, okay, ये तो अलग गुरुकुल है. ये गुरुकुल नहीं जो उन्होंने बनाया था.
It's a cool one.
Yeah.
It's a
So he
cool
was in India. He's an Indo, and then he shifted to UK. And he liked our idea.
Okay.
And he liked the zeal which we wanted to build. And from day one, we have been dreaming big. We have been very ambitious. A lot of times we have not been able to achieve our ambitious targets, but we have been ambitious. Like अगर हमने पहला वैल्यूएशन 12 करोड़ पे रेस किया था हमारा अगला टारगेट 250 करोड़ से था 20x. तो जो कि हमने नहीं किया obviously, but we were too ambitious and he liked that zeal to be ambitious. So he, along with one of his relatives sitting in US, he introduced us to him. He was a purely very, I would say, great angel investor, and he thought of why don't we pull in some money. So he's a millionaire, like the guy sitting in US. For him, it was like a very small chunk for him. He was like, let's test these guys with this chunk. And we, along with him, there was one more guy which we had invited for a webinar show. So because we were building a tech startup, we had a lot of webinar shows.
Yeah.
So we strategically invited people who we wanted to pitch later on.
Okay.
So we invited a venture fund founder, and everyone is very much happy now. I'll come. I'll talk to students, and he came in, and then we got a meeting with him. We convinced him. So it was like in the first set of investments, we had pitched not more than 10 people, and out of those 10, 2 were on our cap tables. We raised around $100,000 in the first round.
Okay.
So for us, the first round was too coincidental and was like amazing. The second round was, it was aggressive. At the same time, the market was amazing when we raised the first round.
True.
Right now, it's purely winter funding winter. So yeah.
Okay. So, sir, what do you think? You have achieved everything in life, or there's something else, a milestone you still want to achieve?
Just achieve 1% of what I want to build.
Oh,
I think
there's a lot more.
obviously it's just. I mean, I'm 24 right now. I have, I guess, if God allows me, more than 50 years more.
But still, you have achieved one milestone of your life. Do you think
A
that?
small mind.
Yeah.
So, sir, like right now in the 21st century, you see a lot of aspired entrepreneurs who want to build their own startup, who want to start something of their own. They do not want to get into the job culture and all. So, what, according to you, according to your experience, what do you think is one of the most important skill set which is required in the 21st century for them to be successful and for their startup to be successful?
Hunger, zeal. If you have the hunger to build big, even if you're not from IIM, even if you don't have a rich father who is giving you seed capital, even if you're from a farmer family, if you're even from tier 3, if you have hunger, you would do it. So what helped me was zeal. Was कि नहीं करना है तो करना है, मुझे नहीं पता, इन्वेस्टर पैसा देगा तो करूंगा, नहीं देगा तो 5 साल में करूंगा, इन्वेस्टर देगा 3 साल में करूंगा, बट मैं करूंगा. So people believed in me. I mean, some people believed in me.
All right.
A lot more.
So that was all for the podcast, and